Hi! So it's weird me showing my face. This video is going to be about what I think a beginner's scrapbook kit would look like if I were to give it to someone, what I would get them. And it's more about the tools and essentials, not so much the pretty things. It's more about the things that help you create the pretty scrapbook pages or project life. I've been waiting to do this video because I've been waiting when my face is all made up, like full face makeup, and to be honest, I only put makeup on in the weekends if we go out and for church. So I don't usually record videos or film videos on the weekend because I'm with my family. Let's just be real for a second. So this is mom hair, my regular everyday shirt. So I have been scrapbooking since 2007. I just wanted to document all those pictures I had from being in color guard, extracurricular activities, and my senior year I wanted to do a scrapbook, and so that's how I started scrapbooking and picked it up back again when I got married, and my mother-in-law gifted us a scrapbook of all the memories that she had of us dating and being engaged. She didn't exactly use the right glue, and she didn't know. She just used what she had around her, and she's a full-time grandma, so like Elmer's glue and stuff like that. So it started to fall apart. All these pretty stickers and the photos, I mean, it was literally just coming apart. The album was just coming apart, and I wanted to transfer it a little bit over onto a actual book for photos, because I think she tried to scrapbook in just a regular photo album that you just slide in your pictures, and those real flimsy paper type. They're usually the least expensive ones that you can find, and you can fit like 100 photos in one little small compact photo album. But she tried to scrapbook in it, and so that's why it was falling apart. Well, anyways, I told my husband, what if I were to take it apart and preserve her memories? And he's like, sure. And so that's how I got it back into scrapbooking and project life since 2013. With all that being said, sorry, I think this is my first video of me doing, like, me showing my face and me talking to the camera. So if this is long, I'm gonna put here where you can just skip to it if you don't really care about the background. Anyway, with all that being said, I have picked out the things that I would give someone if they were to start scrapbooking. And I also put this video together for my sister Liz, whose daughter, my niece, is picking up scrapbooking. She said that she's interested in it, and she wanted to know what to get her to start off with because she has no idea what to get her. And so I thought, oh, I could do a video on it and I'll just share it with everybody else. Anyways, okay, wow, that's a long intro. So let's get down to it. We're gonna go more into like paper, albums, the style, and yeah, let's just get into it. Okay, so first things first, before we go into all the little things, is choosing an album size. Here I have a range of sizes from the largest that you can get in scrapbooking to about the smallest you can get in an actual album. I've seen scrapbookers completely do smaller ones, but it's not in the album. Once you decide on what size you want, then you can go more into details as page protectors and the cardstock and everything like that, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So this is the most traditional size in the scrapbooking world, and that's the 12 by 12. You can find this at Michael's, at Hobby Lobby. They're just more common. The pages are bigger. Here's a traditional 12 by 12 scrapbook layout, and here is a 12 by 12 project life page. I like the flexibility of having both in my scrapbook albums. However, if you just want to focus on one thing at a time, which I highly recommend, you can do just the traditional scrapbook layouts, or you can just do project life in your album. That's what the 12 by 12 album looks like. This is an 8.5 by 11, and this is also a more common size that you can find in craft stores. I found this at Michael's. I've seen them at Hobby Lobby as well, and I'm pretty sure you can find them on Scrapbook online stores. I have not opened this yet. I'm going to start our 2019 family album in this, and this will be my first time doing 8.5 by 11, because for all my years I've been doing 12 by 12. So I can't show you what that looks like yet. Or you can be like, these are too big for me. You could even go smaller. This is a 6 by 8. This is actually an album that I started with when I seriously started coming back to scrapbooking. And this was already set for me, but they're usually not like that. This was like a whole kit that I got from Becky Higgins. It's a wedding album. But I'm actually transferring, because I have too many photos and they just don't fit in here. But I'm actually going to transfer this into a 12 by 12. But anyways, but if you want to start small with just a small group of photos, then this would probably be more comfortable for you. And again, this is a 6 by 8. Then there's even smaller ones. In the scrapbooking world, we use these more for mini albums, like maybe a trip or a birthday or December daily, where you document the things you do in December. And so this is more used for that. However, like I said, if you just have a few photos and you just want to play just for a little bit, then this can also be good for you too. Or maybe you have a younger scrapbooker, and this would be good for them to start off with as well. There are also more sizes, like I know there's a 9 by 12, but that's a little bit more difficult to get. I wanted to show you what's available at stores. A 6 by 8, actually I believe I got this at Michael's, so this is more accessible to you. Alright, so once you decide what album size you want, and then you can buy page protectors. And page protectors are simply the sleeves, the plastic sleeves that you put your photos and layouts in. So this is a Project Life page protector, and it does just that. It protects your pages. So once you do that, you can buy 12 by 12 Project Life page protectors or 12 by 12 traditional single layout protectors, which you can also find at Hobby Lobby and Michael's, or again online. Sometimes an album will already come with page protectors in them, and so that's a bonus. But if your album doesn't, usually the page protectors that match the size of the album will be around where you get the album. For this video, let's say we've decided on a 12 by 12 album with 12 by 12 page protectors. So once that's done, let's get to some pretty things. The next thing is paper. Pretty paper. As a beginner, I would highly recommend getting a paper pad. This is from Dear Lizzie Stay Colorful. It has 36 papers in it, but I'm pretty sure it varies with the designer or how many papers they designed for the collection. Anyway, this paper pad has a whole bunch of papers that coordinate with each other, meaning they match very well. So let's say I decided to use this one on a layout and this one. Well, guess what? They match. They go together. So you have that already for you. And here's another trick that I also found too. The paper pads will also have these tearing strips or these branding strips. They're called many different things, but on the top, it's usually something that you can take it off altogether, or you can tear it out and leave it in there. This is also a guide to tell you which paper matches with the other paper. So pretty, and these range from $20 all the way to $7, depending on whether you get it on sale with the coupon or for regular price. You could also find these at your local scrapbook store or online. One thing also about buying a paper pad instead of individual papers like this, because Hobby Lobby and Michael's have loose papers as well, is the thickness of your paper. I did not know this when I first started, but there is definitely a difference. So in a paper pad, the paper is thicker. It's more durable. It doesn't tear as easily. If you were to move things around, it won't pick up as easy. Whereas a loose paper that you would get is very flimsy, very thin. It's more delicate. So I would recommend buying a paper pad over a loose paper if you're shopping at Hobby Lobby and Michael's. I'm sorry, I hope you're taking notes. If you're shopping online, the loose papers, the individual papers, single papers, are just as thick or maybe even more thick than the paper pad. So that's kind of cool, but also kind of confusing. It was confusing to me when I started scrapbooking. I had a ton of these thin ones, and I have to redo some of my layouts because they're so thin and they're kind of tearing and stuff. So you might say, so why should we buy these at all? These are great for layering. The next thing that there's available at stores is a paper kit. So paper kit, collection kit, it's one of these plastic bags, and sometimes you'll see them hanging. Most of the time at Hobby Lobby and Michael's. I believe Joann's has some of these now too. These paper kits kind of have it all for you. The thick, pretty pattern papers, which are these guys. Sometimes even more thicker than the paper pad, or just as thick. Again, they all coordinate. It'll also come with decorative stickers like these, and it also comes with some alphabet stickers, better known in the scrapbooking world as alpha stickers. All of this will come in a kit, so you pretty much are set here, and all you have to do is add your photo and decorate it. These kits go from $9.99. I have seen some for $20, but I think there was more to them. But again, you can always use a coupon. Sometimes they'll have a 50% off sale. I know Hobby Lobby did, and I know I picked this up for $5. So that's really good for a scrapbook beginner. Spending $5 on this. I wish they had this when I started. Maybe they did, and I got too excited and just started buying everything. And I wish that I would have started out with something like this. I really do. And here is one thing that you should have. You should buy. Is white cardstock. This I got at Walmart. It's just 12 by 12 cardstock. They have textured cardstock. It has, I don't know if you can see that, it has a little bit of texture to it, and then they have like a smoother kind. Also, I'm going to tell y'all about scrapbooking kits online. This is a hip kit club, but there's so many others out there. There's Citrus Twist, there's Felicity Jane. Oh my goodness, there's so many out there. And basically it's kind of the same thing as a paper kit that you can get at Hobby Lobby or Michael's, but so much more. I already kind of busted into this, so it's they're all cut up. But you get coordinating papers, and not just from one designer. They actually do all the work for you, and they get from different collections that are current and they're popular at the moment, and they put them all together to match for you. Along with that, they'll put some ephemera in it, just some decorative pieces that you could put around your photos. Some embellishments, again, decorative pieces that you could put on your photos. Or not on your photos, on your layout, sorry. These are some more stickers that you can add to it. So already in this kit, we have 3 decorative things that you can add to your layouts. And then they include a set of alphas as well. And some smaller embellishment. This is just a basic kit, and this could range from $30 to $40, not including shipping. But honestly, this is so much fun because I really like the fact that you can get from so many different collections and designers all in one kit, and it'll all coordinate. I have a lot of fun with these kits. I highly recommend subscribing to a scrapbooking kit to get one of these at your door if you don't have the stores available to you. Alright, anyway, So that's that for the paper. Next thing is scissors. This is very important. A good pair of scissors is a good pair of scissors. These I got at Office Max, and I really like these. I also recommend Fiskars. Those are more expensive. I think these for $8, and the Fiskar ones can get pretty pricey, but they're totally worth it. But these have been making me happy just fine. And I also recommend getting some small precision scissors. There we go. These are from Tim Holtz. I got these at Hobby Lobby, but you can order these online. This is good for fussy cutting, for cutting smaller things. The next thing as far as cut is a paper trimmer. I've always had a paper trimmer from the start. This is from Fiskars. This guy was, oh, I don't know, $30, but I got it with a coupon. Get the big one, okay? Especially if you're doing a 12 by 12 layouts. It extends, you can put your paper here. This locks your paper in place so it won't move around. Gives you a clean cut. There are more expensive ones, and for good reasons too, but for a beginner, this is a really good one. The next thing is glue and adhesive. So here I have tacky glue, which is a liquid glue. It's not in the original bottle, but it's just white glue that dries clear. I do recommend this. This works really good for paper. It dries quickly, and it doesn't stay as wet. And you're thinking, why can't I just use Elmer's glue? Because Elmer's glue is too wet. There is a difference. It's water-based, it's easy to wash off, so that's why I don't recommend Elmer's glue. But the tacky glue, and you could find that at any office supply store. You could probably find it at Walmart. Then the next thing is a glue stick. Now this I like to have. That's my preference. Other scrapbookers get along fine just without it. But I like to have it because sometimes the paper, like if I'm using a thin paper, like what I just showed you at the beginning for layering, this is kind of good because it's not too wet. And then for the tape runner. So this is a dotted tape runner. It is permanent adhesive. There's going to be many tape runners of all sorts of brands. But what you really need to see is the difference between a permanent adhesive or a removable adhesive. Permanent is, let's see if I could show y'all. So a permanent adhesive will hold and stick a whole lot more stronger. It is stickier. If you were to move things around, it won't move. The removable adhesive is just that. It does not stay put, and it's not as sticky because it's supposed to be able to remove very easily. This is good if you are kind of indecisive and you move things around a lot, or you're unsure and you don't want to commit to sticking it down right away. See? Easily remove it. So a lot of scrapbookers at the beginning will just buy a tape runner and not really see the little small details that say removable or permanent, and then like maybe a year later their layouts are falling apart because they used only removable adhesive. So don't do that. Get yourself some permanent adhesive. See how easy it was for me to just take that off? Whereas this, we had to carefully lift it. That's the difference, my friends. These guys could go from, oh, this is a Tombow, and so this one's like $6. But there's also other brands that you can get for $4. If you're asking, well, do they have the smaller ones in permanent? Yes, they do. Next thing are pins, and I think this is my last thing. Here I have an American Crafts precision pin in 03. This was specifically made for scrapbooking and Project Life. It's a felt tip pin, which is really great for scrapbooking because it dries quicker. One of my favorite pins is the Paper Mate InkJoy Gel in 0.5. This particular brand doesn't smear. It's super quick to dry, and you could even write on glossy, and if you wait a little bit, it won't smudge off. It's pretty amazing. This is also great for journaling on your scrapbook pages. I really do like them both, really. And if I were to choose one, oh my goodness, that would be hard. These are, you can find in Walmart, really, in a pack or just single. These are more found in Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Joann's, or Scrapbook online store. I don't think they have these at like Walmart or Office Max or anything like that. So this will probably be more hard to find. This will be more easier to find in stores. Next thing is a Sharpie. This is a double tip, broad tip, and a fine tip. And the reason why I say a Sharpie is because you are able to write on glossy surfaces such as your photos if you wanted to, or maybe your stickers are glossy and you want to write on a sticker or a label, and you could write with a Sharpie and it won't smear. That you could find at, you know, any store with office supplies. Now, this is a little something extra, but I do recommend you getting it, because if you have a layout with darker paper, you're not going to see your journaling very well. But with this Uniball Signo white pen, I've tried so many white pens. I've tried the jelly ones, the jelly rolls. Oh my goodness, I've tried felt tips. This one is probably the best one that will show up. You can write on photos with this, and so that's really cool if you want to do that. I got this pack from Amazon. Like I said, these are just the essentials. These are not like, okay, all the prettier things. There are so many pretty things, but if you don't get your essentials right, then you're gonna have trouble creating with all the pretty things. A really good tape runner, some really good glue that is for crafting, that is made for photos, it's photo safe, a good pen that doesn't smear and is acid free and won't fade, you know, all that stuff. Some really good pair of scissors, a paper trimmer, some good cardstock, some good pattern paper. All this stuff is made for scrapbooking. Obviously, it's meant to last a long time because those pages and photos are meant to last a lifetime. So anyway, these are all the things that I recommend a beginner scrapbook get. I gave you many choices. That doesn't mean you need to get all of the choices I gave you. I just wanted to give you the choices that are available to you. You can't go to your store and get them locally, what you can also find online. If you have any other questions, I hope this wasn't confusing to you, please let me know in the comments below. The next video, I'm going to film a layout on just using these tools, and probably going to use, well, tell you what, let's use the Hip Kit Club scrapbooking kit, because I know that everyone will have access to this. A beginner scrapbooker can feel a little bit more secure that if they were to get this, they can put a scrapbooking layout together. Anyways, thanks for watching, thanks for hanging out and sticking this long, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you in my next one.